And we are recording. Welcome, everyone. This is your host, Abraham L. Jaguar, a professional game master. First of all, this channel is proudly sponsored by Magi-Knights Awakening. This is a Super Sentai and Magical Girl inspired tabletop RPG where you get to confront mythos-like horrors. You will find it in the description and in the pinned comment. This channel is also proudly sponsored by Dead Tree Studios, the publishers and developers of Dames of Asstoria, a tabletop role-playing game where you play as monster girls, experiencing high adventure in a world that doesn't fully accept them. They have recently released Daughters of Lamb. This is a pay-what-you-want tabletop role-playing game where you get to play as cybernetic nuns with guns, looking for the missing pieces of their AI god. You will find it in the description and in the pinned comment as well. This channel is also proudly sponsored by the Red Room Publishing. Please check out their store for exclusive tabletop RPG products. They have recently released Savage Swords. This is a Conan-inspired tabletop RPG where you get to explore ancient civilizations and confront forgotten nightmares. You will find it in the description and in the pinned comment too. Now, today we are continuing the Asteria campaign. Just a heads up for everybody watching. Um, Giovanni is currently at college, so if you hear voices, that's the background. We cannot help it, but it's much better to continue to be persistent when it comes to the game than just letting it go. We have the chance to play, and we are doing just that. hmm Now, as always, we have David, the designer of Quick and Classic. David, once again, thank you for being here. And before we get started, what do you think about the city of Shark in general?
Well, thank you guys for having me. It's a real pleasure and thrill to game with you. Well, the city is alive. Like adventuring in the city feels like walking in first person, and there's lots of stuff we need to look into. And I'm looking forward to go to the old cemetery.
Very mysterious and very
Yes,
dangerous, probably.
sounds adventure.
Now we also have Derek, the author of Forgotten Fate. If you like Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition and JRPGs, definitely check it out. Now, Derek, thanks for being here. And before we get started, what do you think about the bounties that you have seen?
Yeah, it seems like this city has a lot of problems. So, yeah, based on the bounties, I mean, I would assume if somebody's tracking their population, it's dropping pretty steadily every night between zombies and spree killers and serial killers. So it seems like this place is, really struggling. At least that'd be Raish's take on it. They're having to kind of outsource things to, mercenaries and bounty hunters, even though they have guards, pretty stark economic divides between the east and the west. So it's both it's got some gritty realism going on to it, but also a lot of fantasy elements to a very bleak place. But that's the kind of place where there's a lot of room to do some good. So it's intriguing. Yeah.
hmm I agree completely. Now, we also have Giovanni, who is also a dungeon master. Giovanni, what do you think about the scream that you heard?
Oh, well, that's very interesting because we're still not at night, and most of the bad things that we have heard about happens at night. So the zombies only happen at night, and the serial killers, as far and other murders, as far as we know, happen at night. So I'm quite curious as what might be happening as the day dwindles, and I don't really know what to expect. So I come bearing weapons and ready for anything.
That sounds logical and cautious. Now, Sam, thank you for being here once more. Sam is a survivor of a few of my games. So far, he's been doing really good. Now, Sam, do you think that the solution for the zombie plague lies in the old graveyard?
Thanks for having me here. It's a great party we have. Indeed, it seems that by exploring this cemetery, this old cemetery outside the city, which is reputed to be cursed, we'll definitely have something for us there to maybe to do some diplomacy or do some fights, definitely. And who knows what happens with the curses? Maybe something interesting comes up out of a grave, or we end up in the grave. Let's see how this goes.
Play to discover. Now, for those of you watching, if you haven't seen the other parts, please check out the playlist. But just like a super mini um, compilation of what has been going on, they have arrived to the city of Shark, the port city. There is intrigue, there is danger. They went to the blacksmith to purchase a shield, and they heard a scream in the street, a woman screaming her lungs out. And so it begins. You hear the scream of a woman just to the side, towards the east of the blacksmith establishment.
I glance at my brothers and sister. How far do you think she is?
I intend to find out. I unsheath my sword part ways, exposing a few inches of steel, and bolt out the door.
I'm right after you and at your side.
I too am with you.
As Odo and Munin step outside, there is a woman with tears, dressed in usual peasant clothes. The corpse of a man lies on the ground with a light brown shirt and dark brown pants. His head completely decapitated with a hole on his chest. A black coloration tone expands both on the clothes and the skin that is exposed. The face of the man has been partially melted. To the side of the man stands a man dressed in typical guard clothes with chainmail, with spectacles, dark hair, nodding as he looks at the corpse. More people are gathering around the event.
I look to see if the the blood that is coming out is still expanding. If this is a recent death.
It is obvious for Munin that it has just occurred a few moments ago. And Munin can overhear the woman speaking to the guard. It was horrible. I was walking on my way to buy some groceries, and I saw him on the ground in the middle of the street. The guard replies, "This is most unusual. So far, it goes against the modus operandi of the killers. Was anyone else around?" "No, it was just lying there. How can this be?"
I quickly look around to see if this just happened, if there's anybody who's trying to either walk away, anybody who might be carrying a weapon who could have done this. Also, if there's a hole in the chest, I'm assuming that something has been taken. So if there's traces of blood trailing from the body.
It is quite clear for Munin that the killer was fast enough to leave the scene of the crime. There is no clue or indication that the killer is still around.
I also, having the same idea, instead of looking to the body and the crowd around it, look for signs in any alleyways, rooftops, anyone who might be observing the scene or fleeing from the scene, either in haste or trying not to be noticed, looking away from the body at the perimeter of everything.
The only thing that Reisha is capable of perceiving is that there are several alleyways. It is quite clear that the killing was intentionally carried out in this section because of the numerous alleyways providing ways of escape.
I
I'm looking
checked
at
the
the woman.
body.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead, Peter.
I'm looking at the woman. Were you in danger by this attacker?
The woman speaks. No, I just saw him. I didn't see it happening. I just saw the corpse on the ground. But it is horrifying. Why does he have that black color on the chest? And she continues sobbing.
I check the body and try to find out what happened there. And I talk to the guard asking if the other victims, because we've heard of beheadings, but we haven't heard of any harvesting of organs or anything like that. So I try to understand what happened to the body and how different this is from what usually happens.
The guard pauses for a moment, eyeing Munin up and down, and speaks. Normally, we do not share this information. I haven't seen you around here,
We are
but the
new to the
killings,
town, but we
I
are
step up
interested in the
along.
we're interested in the bounties.
I step up
I
alongside Moon, and
see.
that's correct. We've spoken to some other guards regarding the bounty board, and there was both a serial killer mentioned and spree killers. I didn't
I
expect to
see,
see a
but
victim so soon.
what you are saying, and he gets interrupted by the woman. Aren't you going to do something? Don't interrupt me, woman. Wait, wait. There is obviously against the ways that the killings have occurred. Surely you have heard of a killer problem we've been having. Mostly a couple of real killers by the name of Scorpion and Cobra. We have called them like that because they usually, it appears they poison their victims, and sometimes they skin them alive if they have enough time. But we also have been experiencing beheadings, and this corpse has been partially beheaded. Take a look at this wound, and the face partially melted. We have seen cases of the face being melted in the killings of Cobra and Scorpion, but the beheadings they seem to be related to an unrelated killer.
Are you able to identify who this victim was, good guard? Or is anyone familiar with this person?
I don't know everybody in the city, of course, but he looks like your usual citizen. He doesn't stand out. I don't think he was important.
It is possible that this is someone in trying to make the killing look like it was one of the thrill killers, but not, given the mix up of techniques. Can I examine the body?
The guard looks around. Go ahead.
I take a look at the chest.
Munin can spot a small piece of paper just wedged into between the shirt and the skin.
I pick it up and look at it.
It reads, "We are coming for you."
I'm asking
What,
the woman. I'm asking the woman. Did you have a chance to see somebody running away from this killing?
No, no, sir. I'm afraid I didn't see such a thing. I just encountered the corpse. That is all.
where's the blood coming from on the chest? I look.
Well, the guard kneels. If we are to look closely, the blood is certainly pouring from the chest area, but see here, the blood is starting to become black. This is most certainly the work of Cobra and Scorpion, but I am still hesitant to say that the other killer was not involved.
A corpse left in broad daylight is certainly bold, an audacious move.
I
as if
examine,
as
I,
if they were working together. I show the guard the paper I have found.
We are coming for you. This is undoubtedly a threat against the guards.
Possibly. Possibly.
Well, I take a look to the wounds, trying to figure out what kind of weapons can do that. What kind of weapons they've been using.
It is quite clear for Oda's expert eyes concerning weapons and wounds that this attack was not made with iron or perhaps even wood. It almost looks organic, as if some sort of organic appendage went into the chest.
I nod to the guard. They're not using weapons, just claws or whatever sort of beastly limbs they might have. If they're looking for you, I'm not sure they're human.
But that is preposterous. This follows the trend, the peculiar way of working of Scorpion and Cobra. Do you mean to say that Scorpion and Cobra are some sort of beasts?
Well, at
Or
least their weapons are certainly beast-like. They're not using
perhaps,
steel.
perhaps they command some sorcery. Has anyone seen Scorpion and Cobra firsthand, or is this all rumors and hearsay?
No, nobody has actually seen them clearly. At most, a few of the guards have caught glimpses of a couple of figures running away from one of the scenes where the crime happened.
Hmm.
Munin, does this look like a ritualistic killing? Does this look that it was part of a ritual or a cult procedure?
Or do you detect any lingering magics about the corpse?
I try to sense if there's magic anywhere around.
Munin can perceive no magic whatsoever.
And I don't recognize this as part of a ritual. I again, I look at the body and I try to understand if this might be, for example, the entry wound of a stinger in the chest, and what might have caused the melting of the face, if that could be acid or fire, or what kind of natural breath or expulsion might do this.
Without doubt, Munin is certain that it is the stinger. It resembles a stinger of an insect, but it would be too large.
I watch the faces and body language of those in the crowd observing all this to see if they all behave as I would expect normal citizens to behave in seeing this horror, if any of them might have a peculiar sort of interest or even pride in this.
Gracia can see that most of the people gathering around either had faces of horror or jaded indifference.
It would seem no one witnessed where the killer fled to, so the only thing we know with certainty is that your thrill killers are growing bolder or perhaps more impatient. I don't know how much more we're going to learn unless you wish to examine the body further, of course.
Brothers, if what Oda and I have noticed is true, this is not the work of a weapon. This is the work of a beast. And a beast running through the streets would be very visible. Let's see if we can find anywhere in the alleys nearby access to maybe the
Sewers?
underground sewers or things like that. Because I don't expect that whatever killed this man would be running around the city for long.
I point out the series of alleyways I had noticed earlier, and you may be right, Moonin, but this site, while very visible, likely wasn't selected at random. There's myriad ways the killer could have escaped.
Right, but I'm expecting that in one of these ways there would be access to something hidden, because I do not expect the killer to be a normal sight. I don't expect the killer to be entirely human, if human at all.
anything is possible, but we could follow up on it. Shall we check the alleys then?
Let's check the alleys. Yeah, let's check the alleys. Let's go about, 10, 15, 50 feet in each of them, and see if there's any access to the sewers or any other access to some other hidden way of movement.
Or obviously physical evidence, trails of blood, anything of that nature. Yes. I proceed and
Munin
search
and
the alleys.
Risha begin their search,
I,
while Otto
I'm
and Peter.
I'm with them, of course, and as they look for signs, and I'm always keeping an eye to the streets, movements, any threat. So I'll be watching you as you are looking for tracks.
Yeah.
Thank you, brother.
Also, Peter is with Otto and vigilant.
Peter delays for a moment, thinking about himself in third person, but the rest of the adventurers continue. As soon as Peter catches up, Resha can spot a strange mark leading towards the north, almost as if something was dragged, leaving a black line in the middle of the street heading towards the north.
I point this out and beckon my brothers, saying, "Look here. I think northward is our destination. Let's try to not lose this trail, but let's be quick."
A
And I
black
follow it.
line, a black line. It looks like dragging a scorpion's tail or something like that. I'm talking to my brothers. Talking to you, brothers. What do you think?
I
It's
take a look. Yeah,
certainly possible.
I
We've
try to
seen enough.
understand it. I try to understand if this mark has been left by something like charcoal, or if it's something like a body part that might have left a mark.
The only thing that Munin finds peculiar about this mark are a couple of drops of black liquid just to the side of the black mark.
This might be a stinger that is drawing and leaking poison.
It might not be too late to lose our quarry. Then let's be quick,
Yeah,
but
let's
keep your
let's
eyes open.
let's
Peter,
follow.
Peter, what about you dip the tip of your dagger in the liquid? That might be an extra weapon against our enemies.
The liquid is completely dry.
Oh, too bad.
Oh, too bad.
Let's move
Um,
quickly.
Yeah.
I move
maybe
low
the
to the
creatures.
ground, looking for
ma-
tracks to continue the trail. So,
Yeah, maybe the creatures have been hurt in a way, and maybe they lose some kind of body liquids. Let's be careful. We don't know in what state they are.
Yeah.
It is difficult to follow the direction as the black line goes towards the north, and several alleyways proceed, some of them further north, some of them to the northwest.
Hmm.
I look again for anything that might indicate one over the other as the more likely direction that the creature fled, while requesting to my siblings, everyone look for any sign of where it went. We don't want to simply go on guesswork and lose our prey.
Keep watching their back as they look for signs.
Not just with my eyes, but also with my nose. I smell the air and see if there's anything that can lead me in one direction more than another. I also smell the dried liquid as we go by it to see if it has a particular smell that we can follow.
There is no way to ascertain which way the creature went, but Munin can perceive the smell of bread, freshly baked bread on the northwest, and he perceives a fetid smell, very faint fetid smell coming from the north.
Thoughts? Do we flip a coin or just proceed? I don't want to split up unless it's necessary.
No, let's not
No,
split.
no. Let's not split. Maybe
North should be where the bakery is, right, Peter?
uh, no.
Munin remembers that the smell of the bread came from the northwest direction, and strictly
Sure.
north had the emanation of a fetid smell.
North or northwest, Boonin? Which would you advise?
North, I'd say.
Good enough. I
Yes.
North.
move to the north.
Yeah, let's go
Okay.
north.
I move north.
We all go.
The entire group continues, and after a 2-minute walk, the smell becomes stronger, and a well lies just to the side of the street. The smell comes from the well.
And that's the entrance.
It's the source of that hideous smell, certainly. I
Um,
approach the well and take a look over the edge.
It is completely dark.
Take a look around, trying to see if there's anybody watching us or what's any citizen doing.
and I look to try and see if the well might have signs like the line that we had been following at the beginning of our chase.
Odo can see nothing of importance as he looks around, but Munin spots another small drop of the same black liquid on the very edge of the well.
So we thought it was going to be the cemetery, and instead, the sewers.
Well, the cemetery probably for the zombies, the sewer probably for the killers.
I light a torch and hold it into the well, trying to see what I can see, and also looking to, as I move around the well in a circle to see if there's any plaques or writing on the well itself.
We
There
definitely
is
need fire. I mean, going up against such creatures like scorpions or cobras or any kind of herpets. I mean, we're going to need fire to kill these creatures for sure.
as Raisha moves around. She spots nothing of importance apart from the well being, at the very least, 15 feet deep. And Peter notices that in 2 hours the sun is about to set.
There's a creatures of the night, so attacking them during the night, it will be their advantage. On the contrary, if we decide to go after them during the day, of course we may not find them, but I'm not sure if this is the right time to.
It might be presumptuous to think these are creatures of the night, Peter. They killed a man in broad daylight just not long ago. Unless they killed him at an earlier time, much earlier, and placed the body there, but that's baffling. So, no.
No, the body was clearly freshly
Well,
executed.
down there is not going to
Yeah.
be a big difference if it's day or night. I mean, it's going to be dark anyway. So
Precisely.
Yes, yes, in the
We don't
sewers.
want this trail to go cold. I pulled the torch out, peering down to see if there's water at the base of the well or if it is a dry well bottom.
The well is completely dry.
Shall we?
Yes, let's tie a rope off and proceed down carefully and leave ourselves a way to exit this well.
let's throw a torch down, and then I'll go and go first, moving towards the light. What do you think?
Let's throw
I
the
think we
torch
should.
down
That's a good
and then
idea. I will follow you, Otto. I will come second.
Okay.
I look for something sturdy that I can tie a rope off to and just then lower a rope into the well, allowing Odo to climb down the rope and making sure it's secure so that we can climb out when we need to.
All
Meanwhile,
that is
I
accom-
fasten my shield to my back so that at least my back is reasonably safe. Sheath my sword and start descending.
All of that is easily accomplished. And once the bottom of the well is reached, there is a tunnel heading northeast. The floor of this tunnel is covered in feces and rat carcasses. The smell comes from this organic refuse.
I unsheath my sword and sign the others to come down. I keep my watch to the tunnel.
I'm jumping down through with the rope, going down Toto, and
I
take
too
out
come down.
my warhammer. Yep.
I too come down, and if you need me to hold the torch, I will be happy to.
I
Very
climb
well.
down, torch in one hand, lit, my sword drawn in the other.
As Resha
Παιδιά,
leaves the mule
τέλειωσε.
behind,
Τόσο γρήγορα.
the tunnel is quite clear to extend 10 feet northeast, and then it bends towards the north.
How large is the tunnel? Can we fit 2 by 2, 1 by 1?
Let me check. I check if the tunnel is wide enough for going 2 by 2.
It is wide enough for two people to walk through it.
Me
Do
and
we hear
Peter,
any movement? Yes. So do we hear anything moving in the tunnel?
I try
I
and
don't know, Peter.
Let's listen.
Okay.
yeah.
I listen for anything that I can hear in the tunnels.
You listen better than I do with my helm.
Very faintly, a few footsteps continuing north.
Okay.
Let's go.
There's something. Let's keep moving. And I proceed north.
Okay. Peter, me and you first. Moonin and Resha, watch our
Right
back.
between you.
Okay.
That's fine.
Okay.
Let's go.
As you make your way and finally reach the tunnel leading towards the north, the path forks in various directions. The architecture is unusual based on what you have read so far about city sewers, but it is a maze of many tunnels, some of them narrow, some of them allowing the passage of two people at the same time, going in all directions northward, north, northeast, northwest. In total, 5 tunnels.
I listen to try and identify where the sound is coming from. Which of the 5?
There is no sound whatsoever to be heard.
Look for. I also look for traces. See if there's anything like the trail that we had seen earlier, or any one tunnel with more feces or fewer rats.
2 different sets of footprints. One of them leading to the farthest northeast tunnel. The other one leading towards the farthest northwest tunnel.
Moonin, do you
Do,
You
do they
see
find
look like
something.
they?
difference in the tracks? Yeah.
Yeah. They look like feet, or they look like something else. Something.
They look human for Munich.
Brother,
I
what did you
don't
find?
have. I found footsteps going in the 2 extremes, furthest east and furthest west. They look human, both of them, and I'm not quite sure. I don't have any other indication as to which might be the more recent one.
Well, that's good news because at least maybe we won't be attacked by two killers, just by one.
You can
So
hear laughter interrupting you, echoing through the entire tunnels. And deeper laughter. So you fancy yourselves the hunters of the great scorpion and cobra. Come to our home.
And you
We
fancy
have only
yourselves
just begun.
cowards. You fancy yourselves cowards who taunt from the shadows, unwilling to show your faces.
Well, we cannot be successful otherwise. We are fighting the entire city after all. Yes!
Of course, the weak always need to cower and scurry about in the filth and shit, after all. Must be a shameful life.
We like it down here! Ah!
Naturally.
I try to identify the direction from where the voices are coming.
Munin can hear the voices coming from the tunnel straight to the north.
So the great scorpion and cobra are nothing more than cowardly fools skulking about in other people's waste, unwilling to show yourselves and face fair combat. How disappointing.
You will learn to appreciate the smell of the waste after a time. It is quite exotic. Wouldn't you say, Cobra? Yes, yes.
Enough talking.
Far
okay,
from it. Surrender, both of you. I can ensure that you'll face more fair justice with us than you will the tortures this city owes you.
There is silence for a moment, and then the deeper voice speaks. The game has begun. And the sound of shifting stone is heard from the bottom of the well you came from.
they probably blocked the passage.
We
I'm
should
not really
proceed to
sure.
confirm. There could be mechanisms we didn't detect, or one of them could be physically there, or they could have
Mhm.
other allies.
Hmm. Let's stay very close to each other. I think they're trying to separate us.
Let's
Make sure
not.
you're serving all angles of all vectors of attack. We don't want to be caught from any off guard positions.
The footprints go northwest and northeast, but the voices were coming straight from the north.
So
Um,
maybe
and my guess is that these are all tricks. My guess is that their voices might be coming from some kind of mechanism through which they can speak from one place and make it sound like it's coming from a different one. I would be almost inclined to go in one of the two passages that doesn't have any footprints or sounds coming from it.
okay. Let's go.
Let's move.
I would be very cautious for any sort of traps. Peter, can you keep an eye out for that? These people are clearly willing to resort to subterfuge and ruses to toy with their prey. I would not put it above them to trap these passages.
Absolutely. As I'm walking, I'm definitely looking for traps or any kind of mechanisms that could trigger any kind of devices. So
I would
let's move
The
I'd count
slowly.
on that,
adventurers
brother.
stand at the threshold deciding if they need to go towards the northeast or the northwest.
The northeast is as good as any, or we could head back the way we came and determine what that sound was. See if we have a
Northeast then.
means of egress. Northeast, Odo, Moonin, let's go.
Okay.
Northeast.
Right.
As you continue northeast, you hear a booming sound rushing towards you. And a voice. Cobra, get in here! They are coming my way! And you see a hulking brute as the two of you in front, Odo and Peter, with Munin just behind and Reisha, charges from the shadows, wielding a huge axe.
I ready my shield.
I'm holding my warhammer just to be ready for defense.
I draw my sword as I rush forward alongside Odo, sliding to my knees and slashing out at the level of the man's legs, hoping to catch him off guard while flinging my torch up at his eyes.
I am ready with my club and keep an eye behind us for the possibility of Cobra showing up.
If the maneuver from Resha opens a gap, I'm filling it with a sword.
Odo, Reisha, and Peter deflect the axe cuts from the hulking figure that now is seen wearing a leather chest piece that is mixed with pieces of bone and human skin. Reisha manages to distract the figure long enough for her to see a stinger that was about to strike her, but she deflects it with her blade. But one of the cuts from the axe got through the weapons and into Oda's shield, dealing 1 point of damage to the shield. And Munin can see, rushing from behind, a small, almost completely naked man, thin, long hair, only dressed in loincloth. And the smaller man spits green phlegm at Munin's face as the other figure continues his barrage of axe cuts and a scorpion tail that protrudes from his back, striking forward.
I want to leverage. I leverage the X cut with the shield, try to open a gap, and stab at the armpit with the sword.
I try to present a narrow profile as I pivot, attempting to get behind the larger figure with the axe, all the better to fend off its scorpion tail and maybe even slash it off if an opening presents itself.
Because of the stress of the battle, Peter realizes that he cannot produce any sound or action.
I'm using my warhammer trying to cut the tail that's coming our way.
I dodge to the side to avoid the spit of poison that is coming from this little man, rush almost past him and swing with my club to hit his head on the side or back.
Munin can barely dodge the acid as it inflicts a wound, his right shoulder burning, 1 point of damage taken by Munin. In the case of Odo, Reisha, and Peter, they have a difficult time getting through the axe cuts and the scorpion tail flailing that is barely avoided. The strength of the blows of the axe, even though glancing blows that impact their weapons and even the shield, deal a terrible wound. 1 wound for each participant, Odo, Reisha, and Peter. The larger figure laughs and continues the assault as the thin, short figure starts backtracking while preparing another spit against Munin.
All right, I will. I use my shield. I place my shield
There is
against.
a delay. Odo misses completely his chance to act, staggered by the blow. Reisha, Peter, and Munin can still take action.
I
I'm
move
charging with my
within.
warhammer against the scorpion. I'm charging as fast as I can. This time I have to be swift to hit the tail and maybe even the body of the scorpion with a warhammer.
I tuck into a quick roll, aiming to get within the reach of the large axe that's being wielded against me, and then with a backswing, thrust my sword through the guard of the warrior wielding the axe against me while fending off his tail with parries.
I use my magic to make the mace I have become brighter and hotter with flame, and thus help me fight with this dangerous and poisonous little man, and then strike at him with the mace.
As soon as the individual known as Cobra takes a quick step backwards, Munin strikes and the blow lands heavily on his head. A crunch is heard. Almost a glancing blow, but enough to render the man apparently dead, falling down. Although Raisha and Peter, mostly due to the effects of Raisha and Peter's weapon play, managed to find an opening, and Peter's warhammer falls down and cracks. Pieces of an insect-like hide splinter out from the blow, and Risha's sword goes deep, and the man gurgles, falling down, apparently dead.
I drive my sword through his chest to make certain he's dead, and then move to repeat the same with the smaller man.
Before that even happens, I take no chances with apparently dead and smash his head in with my club.
Thanks to Munin's and Resha's quick action, the bodies were obviously about to move again, and their second strikes have rendered them completely dead.
Nice.
We need to be careful with handling these corpses, brothers. They clearly possess poisons, unnatural abilities. We obviously need to take them to the guard for further study, and no doubt you
To
wish
get
to claim
our,
the bounties, but
exactly.
be careful when handling them.
Yeah,
I pick up my torch and gesture the corpses.
maybe,
Wrap them in cloths, perhaps.
But before we do so, maybe Peter can take advantage of whatever poison is left on their
Yes.
bodies.
Yes, I will try to collect carefully any kind of poison. It seems now I have no weapon on my hands. The warhammer has been broken. So
Peter
I have to
realizes
be...
that the only thing that shattered were the scorpion-like hide from the individual. The warhammer is perfectly fine.
Oh, that's excellent. Okay, so it seems it did its work, the warhammer. Okay, good. For a moment, I thought it was also crushed. Good. So, yes, you're right, guys. Maybe we have an opportunity here to collect some poison, but definitely we have to keep the bodies as proof of our success against them.
I also want to explore, sister brothers, these corridors to see if there's anything here that could be of interest to us or to the guards.
Are you in any shape to do so, Moonin? We've
I
all
am hurt.
suffered. I recommend we leave. Further explorations mean danger. We can take these
Yeah.
corpses and examine them in the light of day in safety.
There is a third
Along-
killer they were mentioning,
Correct.
if you
And we're in no
remember.
position to face them right now.
I examined my shield to check if it can take any other damage or not.
2 blows were inflicted on the shield.
So it's smashed. I throw the splinters at the body. Well, that was a tough fight.
Shall we take the
And-
corpses and go back up to the ground level and then discuss further? I want to be out of this place. It's filthy and reeks.
At least we we have a look to their possessions, what they're carrying with them.
I want to point out the obvious, brothers, sister. They clearly are the ones who inflicted some of the damage to the body, but the beheading, although maybe the scorpion with the axe, but the beheading doesn't seem to be the MO of what they used to do. The poisoning and the acid seem to be the things that they would more likely have been carrying out.
As Moonin speaks, I'm withdrawing my bedroll, wrapping it around the corpse of Scorpion, and gesturing for the others to wrap up the other corpse, saying, "These are all very interesting things we'll discuss when we're not in this filthy sewer in more danger. Let's get out of here first."
And it is quite clear for Peter's expert appraisal of poisons that it will be possible to extract 2 doses if a small bottle is at hand.
Okay, yep, definitely collect it in a small bottle. Yep. Hopefully it doesn't break while we go out.
Let's go.
I have just 1 second. I have a look to their pockets and look if there's anything of interest or value.
Only 5 florins were found in the pocket made out of human flesh of Scorpion.
I throw the 5 florins to Raisha. Well deserved, sister. Nice swing of your blades.
It'll add to our collective war chest, but we all contributed, Odo. Do you or one of the others wish to claim that vicious-looking axe the man was wielding?
Yeah, good team work. Right, let's bring them
Very
up.
good.
The adventurers are completely certain that the axe can be wielded as an effective two-handed weapon, and a glass bottle is required to collect the poison.
Well, I sheath my sword, and for now, I take the axe two-handed. My shield has broken, so I will likely use the axe.
I do not have a bottle with me, Peter, so for now I cannot help you in collecting the poison.
It seems we have to take them out then without collecting the poison, at least for the time being. I don't know.
Let's bring them up quickly. If we are quick enough, maybe we can find an empty bottle behind a tavern or something like that.
Let's go.
I like the idea of getting out
Let's
of
go.
here quickly. This place is nauseating. I grab the arms and shoulders of one of the corpses, gesturing for one of my brothers to take the legs, and suggest the other two do the same with the other corpse so that we can remove them both from this place, retracing our steps.
As you go back to the area where the well was, a new passageway has been revealed just to the east of the well.
What about
Take a
with your
quick glance.
Yeah. Okay.
What was that? I'm sorry, I couldn't quite hear you, Moon.
There's a new passageway. Maybe we have a
I
look.
take a quick glance. Is it a way out without having to drag the corpses up the rope?
Munin looks at the passageway, asking no one in particular. And the tunnel seems to be curving northwards, still underground.
I advise we go out the way we came in.
Okay,
We're not
let's
in any shape for further spelunking and exploring dangerous subterranean cavities. We don't know
Okay.
where this leads, or if they have, as one of you hypothesized, a third associate. Let's focus on getting these bodies out and dealing with one thing at a time.
With some
Two of
effort,
us could,
Some
climb
effort.
up. Oh, go ahead. And tie
Some
the bodies
effort.
off and then track them up.
All of that was easily accomplished. But now it's nighttime.
We should take these corpses to the guards soon, but now that we're at least out of the sewers and the immediate threat, if any of you want to examine them further or take any other studies of them, we can do so. This armor they're wearing seems organic almost, and this scorpion tail, I'm not even clear if these things are human, some sort of hybrid, unheard
Definitely
of
some
type
sort of
of
hybrid.
lycanthrope.
I would like to remind you, though, that there's also zombies that come out at night. So let's get to a safe place quickly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very well, then let's just take them back to the guards immediately.
As you speak, you hear moaning coming from all around. Oh, oh, and shambling steps moving towards your location.
Okay. Time to try the new axe.
No,
Let's.
Peter, you know this city well. What's the fastest way back to the guards station? We cannot get bogged down here cutting down the undead.
Yes, I'm
We'd be
thinking as
overwhelmed.
fast as possible. I'm thinking as fast as possible. We need to avoid any more conflicts, and we're not in a position to do any fights at the moment. We have the dead bodies of these creatures. I'm trying to find the best and the fastest way back.
Then lead the way. You research the city. Odo, be ready if any of them close with us, but I don't think standing our ground is to our best interest right now. We need to
Okay.
run.
I stand with the axe ready. Something shows up.
Having looked at the charts and maps from the library, Peter remembers that just around the corner towards the east, there are a series of alleyways that can avoid the section where the sounds are coming from.
Follow me, guys. Let's go east through these alleyways. And
Let's go.
yes,
You
I'll carry
easily
the
make,
big one.
as you continue with the corpses and the mule in tow, you spot a couple of guards that have just defeated a walking corpse. The corpse vanishes in front of them, and the two guards exclaim, "Ha! Again! Again!" And the other guard, "Yes, they always vanish. Oh, look, who are they? Identify yourselves." They
Yeah,
point at you.
yeah. We are brave adventurers working for you. We just killed the two killers, the scorpion and the cobra. Can you gladly lead us to your post?
He's correct. We
What?
have the corpses of the thrill killers, Scorpion and Cobra. We would like to turn these bounties in, but we can also aid you in fighting off any of the undead until we can reach one of your barracks.
Ah, if that is true, you better not be fooling around. If that is true, that is a sight for sore eyes. Come to the outpost, it's just further south. Follow us.
let's
Of
follow.
course.
As you are led by the guards, you reach a shoddy wooden building, obviously built a few days ago, with several guards huddled around it. One of them, Boros, the bearded guard that was gambling, he notices you and speaks. "Oh, my friends. Ah, such a horrible night to have a curse, don't you think? The city with the walking dead. What are you dragging behind you?"
The two killers, we smashed them. And
How was your gambling? Ours paid off.
I throw the corpse of the big scorpion on the gambling table.
"I was just about to win. This better be Scorpion." The
Look
guard
at the
It
tail.
explains.
is the axe that took
He
the
has a
head, the tail.
scorpion tail. He actually has a scorpion tail.
Uh-huh.
Yes, and poison also. And if you spare a small bottle, we could pick some of that.
We
This
also, of
here
course, slain
is
Cobra.
Cobra.
Yes.
And I wouldn't touch the body without gloves. He spits acid. So there's
Must
acid
be in its
inside
tongue.
in
Yeah.
his throat, in his veins, in his smashed head.
Perhaps this should be further examined, but well, you did do the city a great service. Let me. What was your name, sir? You, the one that wanted the poison. What's your name?
It's
Talking to you,
Peter.
man. Peter.
Peter. Yes, Peter. Uh, my one of my men will secure you a bottle of this poison as long as you use it for the service of the city to protect our fine citizens from these nefarious
Absolutely.
villains.
And
There's
maybe we
there,
can make an antidote. Maybe we can make an antidote out of this. But this is an excellent opportunity to collect some poison.
An antidote. Let's not speak about such things. For whatever reason, the Black Knights, they say that it is not lawful to make antidotes, that the god Toag will protect us from the poison.
Speaking of protection, my shield has broken hunting those things. Do you happen to have another one you might spare?
I'm sure we can spare a shield. I'll send you there, yes. Boy, check out the armory, please. He will return. Here it is. Here's the bottle. With 2 doses, exactly 2 doses of poison. Here you go, Peter. The man gives Peter the bottle with 2 doses of poison.
Oh,
How would we
great.
go about
Thank you.
officially claiming the monetary reward for the bounty that was posted?
Yes, yes, I was just getting to that. We actually didn't expect people to collect this bounty. Mm, here you go. Uh, 175 florins in this bag. A heavy bag is given.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you happen to know who put up this bounty? Some of these were put up by the city itself, some by individual noble patrons. Whom do we owe our thanks to?
It's because of Mr. R. He is one of the nobles. The nobles like to keep their identities a secret. They are always playing their nasty games. They want to keep anonymous as much as possible. Maybe that's the reason why the city is so accommodating of individuals that want to keep their identities a secret as well.
That is lovely. Well, if you happen to speak to Mr. R tomorrow or in 9 days, let him know that we have accomplished feat and that we are looking forward to accomplish more to keep East Shark and West Shark safe.
Yes, of
And
course. And look, here's the shield. Here's the shield, my man. It's I think it will be resistant enough to withstand two attacks,
Thank you.
two solid blows.
Nice
What?
and sturdy.
What is that sound? Many moans and groans are heard surrounding the outpost. Oh, shambling creatures, silhouettes, figures, rush at the outpost. The guard speaks. Everybody, defend yourselves! They are coming!
to arms,
Ah,
everyone.
and sheath my sword. Shoulder to shoulder, lads. We don't want to be taken by surprise.
Likewise, I unsheath my sword and go back to back with Odo and anyone else who falls into the formation.
Yeah, let's
Take
fight
I take out I
couple
take out
back
my
to back.
warhammer. Yes, I'm taking also out my warhammer, ready for the next.
I take out my mace and my sacred symbol and pray to the gods of nature that they help us in this fight against the undead.
So we
The
stay.
corpses are now within striking reach as they claw and bite at all of you.
I slash out at their limbs, trying to keep them at bay, cutting off hands, fingers, anything to keep them from getting within arm's reach.
I also swing diagonally at one body, try to cut it in half.
I'm targeting the heads with my warhammer, hoping to crush them.
While I chant, I swing my mace, again targeting at heads and trying to keep them as far away from me as possible.
with quick thrusts slash swings. Many shambling corpses fall down, crushed and cut, and you are kept perfectly safe. But more sounds continue. Looks like we have a second wave. They are coming. They are just upon us. More corpses are about to take hold of each one of you.
I keep slashing at whatever comes to us.
I slash my sword upwards and downwards, kicking any who come too close, moving to stay back to back with Odo, and occasionally pivoting, switching positions with him to drive off other enemies if one of us seems about to be overwhelmed, working in tandem with my brother.
Slashing whatever moves around us, trying to keep the team safe while the creatures are putting them out of their misery.
As I keep fighting, my chant becomes almost a scream in response to their advance, trying to drive them away with both the invocations of the gods of nature and the violence of my mace.
This time, your cuts, thrusts, and hits are not as lucky, and the corpses almost fall upon you. But several of the guards assist you as they push the corpses back and cut them. But Boros speaks once more. Now, you may think I am crazy, but listen to me, lady and lads. This corpse, I just cut it down a few seconds ago, and it is attacking again. They keep disappearing and they keep coming. We are fighting the same waves over and over.
It's a losing battle then. Is
I
there
tried
any
to
place
sense-
immune to this?
I try to sense if there's any magic or anything that I can do to counter them through the use of magic.
I protect Munin as he's trying to do so.
Munin senses dark and very powerful magic, but the direction cannot be determined or the source.
I continue
have-
to slash and fight concurrent with this.
Maybe
Any ideas, Moonin? Anything?
I sense the presence of magic. These are not just regular undead, but I don't know where this magic is coming from, and I don't really have many ideas. I try again while holding my sacred symbol. I try to scare them off. I try to chant them away. See if I can, through channeling the gods of nature and of righteousness and good, somehow counter their dark magic and scare them off.
I keep protecting him as he tries to use his holy symbol.
Va de retro.
As I continue to slash with my sword, I say, Boros, is there anywhere in the city that is safe where these things cannot enter? Anything that's proven effective?
Boros speaks. There is no way safe. Look, Peter, look out. There is a zombie about to jump at you.
I'm using relentlessly my warhammer, killing and killing and killing without thinking about getting tired or getting fatigue. Just killing. This is a
Hearing-
massacre.
All of the zombies are pushed back and cut, but more are coming. And Odo manages to protect Munin as the attempt to repel the zombies fails. Odo manages to protect Munin, taking one blow to his shield as a zombie slams against the shield. Boros speaks. There is nowhere safe. This has never happened before. They never come in so many waves.
Munin, keep trying. Believe in what you do. You can do it, brother.
Is there any other exit to this place? Underground, a rooftop exit, anything where we can fall back?
Well,
I say to Boros.
This is complete chaos. Everybody, including you, move to the alleyways. Move outside the city. Move into houses wherever you can. This outpost is lost. Run!
We must fall back and flee. Let's go.
We have to flee. This is the time to go. This is the time to go before it gets any worse. Maybe we can try to go towards the western part of Shark. This time we have proven our value and that we can destroy creatures. Let's move that way.
Perhaps it's safer there if nothing else, but we need to
Let's
move.
let's
quickly.
run to the library.
I grunt inside my helm. I'm right behind.
Let's
you.
run to the library. The librarian said that no attack ever happened there, that he was quite safe.
Good
Let's
as
go.
any. Let's hurry. The library's closer.
I
the
granted I granted the guard leader, you and your men with us. We know a safe
The-
place.
The man speaks. Boros replies. Any idea is as good as any. The guards follow you on your way to the library. You can see all of the buildings being attacked, people on the streets, other guards fighting. And once you reach the library is completely surrounded by the undead.
We need to cut our way open. Maybe the first attack we can land on these things now. We need to enter the library.
The
Then we
hole,
go
you say?
forward. Man, let's support this fine group of adventurers. Come on. The zombies
Yeah.
have spotted you and charge at you in their shambling steps.
I again try to repel them using my holy symbol.
Let's move as a tip. I'll stay in the front with Moonin and the guards behind wide the bases of the tip. Let's move as a tip.
And I'm
Although
using my
hesitates for a
warhammer
moment, thinking
left
about
and right.
thinking about the I'll. And a zombie gets through and smashes its palm against Odo's shield. The shield is destroyed, but the path continues.
I keep
I deliver a
slash-
leg kick to the first zombie that approaches me and then slash at its neck or head level, and then repeat the process with the next, distracting it with a blow and then trying to finish it off with my sword.
I'm using my warhammer smashing heads left and right as we move.
I take the axe now, two-handed, big swings.
Odo has time to draw his axe, but not yet a time to strike. But the path is open to the library as the guards and the adventurers cut and thrust and smash. But it is clear to Munin that there is no effect whatsoever from his attempts to repel the zombies. And now the library is exposed with its door closed.
I ram into the door and try to open it.
I call out, "We are human. Let us in. We met you earlier, Gnome. We have guards here. We will protect you, but we need to get into this place. Quickly."
Odo smashes completely, breaking the door down. And
Right.
a small yelp is heard from inside. Oh, what are you doing here? What is going on? Stay away. The zombies are coming. Close the door. Oh, you broke the door.
You guys,
We
Ah,
just made
that's with me. We take the door and try to push it back to the entrance.
If there's any
bookshelves. Bookshelves.
bookshelf
We can
to
create a
move-
barricade
Yeah.
with bookshelves.
Yes.
I can
yes.
I move
Something
bookshelves
heavy.
to create a barricade.
Yes.
Guys, with me.
the
Let's
guards, the guards can see you and move in and assist you in barricading the entire place with the shelves, the door, and the librarian Kuvaid speaks. But you're going to ruin the precious books. Well, we must stay alive after all, but it's still so horrible.
This attack is more intense than any of the others, according to the guards. If we make it through the night to morning, we'll be great. We'll be fortunate.
If it weren't for us, you'd have no head and no eyes to read your books. So a thank you would be welcome. You said that
Point
no
taken,
attack
thank you. Excuse me, what did
had
you say?
you said that no attack had ever happened at the library. Seems to be not true anymore, huh?
No, I don't know why they are doing this. Did you bring them? Did you bring the zombies here? Maybe they are following you. Yes, that could be it.
Boros
No,
earlier
my friend,
indicates the pattern has changed.
they were already at your door and trying to get in. Let's hunker down for the night and hope that come morning light they disappear.
You are interrupted as pieces of the barricade start to fall.
Any
Reinforce it.
secret passages leading out of here? Speak.
And no, leading out? No.
Any secret passages?
But why
Any
would
s-
that? Why would that
any
help?
secret rooms?
A
Any
place
secret
to
rooms
hold
you have?
up. With fewer entrances, that's fewer areas we need to defend. With this many guards, we can hold a narrow hallway, good gnome.
Maybe a secret basement you have in the library where we can go and hide for a couple of hours until the sun goes
Ah,
up.
the librarian looks at the zombies pounding and destroying the wooden pieces, almost ready to step inside. Well, there is this small room, but we don't fit. We don't fit inside there, all of us, the guards and yourselves and I. It's not big enough.
Do you have any combat skills, sorcery, anything of the above, gnome? Otherwise, you may wish to shelter yourself in there and leave this to the professionals.
That's a sound plan. Yes, yes. The gnome rushes and just behind one of the bookshelves that were not used for the barricade, pulls it to the side and activates, opens the secret passage and goes in. Good luck! And locks himself in.
I
You should
reinforce the
bolster the
barricade with
windows, the barricade,
I reinforce
all
the
of the
barricade
above.
with anything I can find to see if I can make it sturdy enough. I help him.
I push bookshelves in front of any windows that might be big enough for a zombie to try to punch through or climb through, if there are any. Otherwise, I help them reinforce the barricade.
I'm also pushing any heavy um, uh, any heavy tables or whatever can be found towards the door so it doesn't go down.
You take care of all actions perfectly in a way that the barricades are reinforced, but not for long, as the creatures are still knocking and destroying parts. And Boris speaks. I have to be honest with you, lads. Perhaps this could be our last stand. I actually brought a few healing ointments. If you wish, they perhaps may not be of great use compared to a proper healing potion, perhaps created by the most talented alchemist or mage, but it will restore you. I have a dose for each one of you. Would you allow me to apply them to you?
We'd be very
Yeah.
grateful, Boros. You're a good man. Thank you.
Absolutely, and thank you. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
One of the guards rushes with a small jar and anoints each of you on the head as waves of warmth rush through your bodies. Each one recovers one wound, and you feel slightly better. The undead are about to completely destroy the barricade. Boris speaks. This is it, everyone. Let's go.
I hold my blade one-handed, the other hand held aloft in front of me in a fighting stance. And the moment one of the zombies breaks through the barricade, I slash and thrust at it, at any open, vulnerable flesh.
I jump at Resha's side, hacking with my axe, not letting her flanks to be exposed.
Absolutely, we have to help Raisha. I'm moving next to her.
I fight with my club.
Resha cuts down several of the Walking Dead, and Odo also finds some chances, some openings to strike. Peter stands next to Reisha but does nothing else. And Munin manages to do a couple of wild swings, felling two of the corpses. But, like ants, the corpses go inside of the building. You are all surrounded. The guard Boros speaks. This isn't good. Two of my men have failed. We only have three others remaining apart from us.
I fall back using my free hand to try to tip bookshelves in front of the pursuing zombies, even as I continue to slash out with them,
I light a
giving
torch.
ground.
I cover
We have-
Resha hacking to let her do it.
I'm also starting swinging my warhammer as fast as I can. But guys, we have to take hide somewhere. We can't stand this for longer.
I light a torch and fight with the torch. See if fire perhaps is more effective than regular weapons.
Fire seems just as effective as the other weapons, but the actions taken by everybody have provided two openings. One towards the window on the east, and another towards the door that you used to enter the building.
Window, I say.
Boros, can you and your men, those still capable of movement and fighting, we must withdraw further. The window with
As
us.
you speak to Boros, you notice that Boros lies dead on the ground. All of the guards are dead.
Window,
Shit.
lads.
Let's run,
I run
Run.
to the windows.
Run to the window.
sister, brothers. This might be the time to go to the old cemetery and try to stop whatever is causing this onslaught, because there's no stopping it, and we will not survive the night.
Much agreed as I smash through the window.
Absolutely.
I follow.
Sadly, the mule, with a horrible sound, falls down dead as several undead have devoured it. But you all make it outside quickly.
Wasn't the mule at the inn?
No. We've
Evidently
lost another
not.
family members. We need to keep moving. There's
Lead
plenty
the way.
more later.
Lead
Run.
the way.
As you continue running, the city is overflowing with zombies. Many of the guards are dead. You cannot see a single guard standing to defend the people. Normal citizens are using pieces of furniture, butcher knives, all sorts of objects, fighting on the streets desperately.
Let's run to the old cemetery as
As-
fast as we can.
Yes, but I want to step by the blacksmith. He's on the path to the cemetery, right, Munin?
Yeah.
You all remember that the blacksmith is on the other side, on the west, the old cemetery
Damn.
being in the opposite
On the east.
direction.
I call out to every survivor I see. Survivors with us.
Damn it.
Hurry.
If
If you
I
can
see
run,
that-
run. Follow.
As we run, if I see a dead guard with a shield, I take it.
A shield was spotted during the run, and Odo procures it, similar to his former shield. Some of
I
the
coordinate
people
and
rally
defend
behind
this.
you. They all try to fight, but many of them are falling as well, not being skilled combatants. And you can see the gates that lead outside of the city.
Hurry, everyone. Just
I
run.
run as
Stay
fast as
with
I
us.
can towards the gates to the old cemetery.
Yeah.
Run, slashing.
Run like hell.
You easily cut a path and make it outside. A single young man accompanies you, fighting with a butcher's knife. Blue eyes, black hair, dressed in green shirt, white pants, and soft leather shoes. He speaks. The city is everybody's dead. Where are we going?
We're going
I
to
don't
stop
have any-
this.
Yeah.
I have no
You want to
answers for you,
fight?
boy.
You can come with us.
I want
I
to
look
run. I
around.
prefer to run. Thank you very much. I'm going to the docks.
Be safe. Tell the guards there what has happened, that Shark has likely fallen to the undead plague.
Good idea. I will. And he runs as fast as possible.
Whereas we go to the cemetery as fast as possible.
I look about to see if any of the undead are visible outside the city or if they're confined within the walls of the city of Shark.
Everything is quiet compared to the interior of Shark. There is not a single shambling corpse in sight. And you can spot in the distance what is surely to be the old cemetery.
Keep going.
Rush, keep going, rush there. But at this point, since we're not pressed by the zombies, also taking care not to be spotted, taking care to arrive unnoticed.
The old
Stealthily, yes.
cemetery is the seat of power of these necromancers, most likely, or whoever's commanding these phantasmal undead apparitions. Are we really going to go and face them now in the dead of night, the height of their
Yes,
power?
because if we don't, the city is done for.
The city may already be done for. But Shark may be a
Rish,
lost cause.
I understand your reticence, and yet I will not hold back. If this is the undoing of me, so be it. These unnatural things have no right to continue haunting the world of the living.
If we can save more lives, I'm all for it, but I wonder if our efforts would be better spent trying to find refugees and survivors and escorting them out of the city. But if you believe this will solve it, I'm with you. These people deserve better. Odo,
Maybe,
Peter, are you with us?
maybe the source of this reanimation of the dead is at the cemetery. I think
And
this
if
is
we
our
can,
best guess.
and if we can neutralize it. As I approach the old cemetery, I try to sense again for magic, for anything that can help me understand and guide my actions.
Tether or cord of dark energy, nauseous energy, is emanating from a center part of the cemetery. From the distance, it looks like a winged creature, but it is actually a mausoleum with two wings flanking each part of the building.
That's where it's coming from.
Okay, let's go with the circling movement, trying to see if there's an entry on the other side and not just the main entrance.
It sounds tactically sound. I'll follow that
Yes.
tactic, Odo. I move with Odo.
And stealthily. And let's move stealthily this time.
Yeah,
Yes.
as much as possible. Yes.
We want to surprise whoever is doing this or whatever is doing this.
As you go around the cemetery, you notice that the railings and fences have fallen over since long ago. Some of the weeds and grass have grown between them and over them. Munin's torch has been extinguished due to the impacts in the fight and the use of it. And you all perceive that many of the ancient tombstones have been disturbed. The soil in front of each of the stone pieces have been dug out recently and covered again.
Peter, try to see if there's another entrance or you know, back door or something like that. We could sneak in.
I'm investigating the area around. Hopefully I can see something, maybe through a window or hear something or maybe sense something that could help us get in there.
Peter can see no other entrance into the mausoleum. The mausoleum's entrance faces the east. And Peter notices that it is completely open. There is only a single stone coffin inside of the mausoleum.
You're certain this is the
Let,
place, the source of
let,
this corruption. I
let's
see
get
nothing
let,
to do but
let's
proceed.
get this over.
Yes,
Yes.
let's go.
I
I go
check to
towards.
ensure my own torch is still lit first.
The torch is still lit.
Holding
Let's.
my holy symbol, I go towards the entrance of the mausoleum and chanting for the protection of the gods of nature.
On your left, I'm holding my warhammer, ready to smash whatever lies within.
Shield and sword ready. My hex hung on my back.
I fall into formation along with them, keeping a few pieces away so we're not too convenient a clump target, proceeding forward at the same pace.
As you walk towards the mausoleum, you now stand at the entrance. The mausoleum is completely empty, save for a huge stone coffin in the center of the room. The coffin is almost featureless, except for a single sword engraved on the top.
Lads, I guess we have to open it.
I try to sense magic, and I see. I'm assuming it's coming from that coffin, but I try to understand as much as I can.
Maybe there's a secret passage through this thing on the wall. This painting, if it is a painting of.
Peter realizes that the engraving of the sword is on the lid of the coffin, of the stone coffin, and Munin can still sense the magic emanating from the coffin, and Munin notices that the hilt of the sword has the shape of a goat with horns and fangs.
Looks
Similar
like
to similar to the one that is on the bell.
hmm.
Yes. Interesting.
Before entering, I examined the room and the coffin visually for any sort of physical traps or mechanisms that I can see while saying, Peter, do you see anything that might be a more mundane danger than the supernatural ones our brother can detect?
Do we have the bell with us?
Yes, Munin
The
Yes,
bell.
we
has
do.
it.
I have it.
Perhaps we
Um,
could try to ring it somehow, make some sound with that. Could.
Before I do that, I try using my holy symbol to counter the magic emanating from the coffin.
As Munin attempts that, he struggles with a force beyond anything he has ever perceived before. He almost feels his mind break, and it is quite similar when he made a connection with the bell. But he manages to escape any mental damage. But he senses an intelligence underground, a being that is aware that you are all here.
I let my brothers and sister know of this. Shall we try
Can
ringing the bell?
I was about to ask, can we use the bell to any advantage? What do
We
you
know
think?
nothing of its legends and lore. It would
We
be
just know that
guesswork.
there's a similar. It is a similar feeling that I have had with the bell and with this being. They are somehow connected, and the iconography is also similar. There's a chance that this will help us. There's a chance that this will kill us.
By the light
And
of my
it's
torch, I continue to search for physical traps and mechanisms concurrent with this conversation.
There is no
and
mechanism whatsoever found.
I thought so. It seems this being is now aware of our presence here.
Mhm. Well, we might as well try ringing the bell.
So I do. I try ringing the bell. I take it out. I uncover it.
The bell sounds. The bell echoes around the graveyard, surrounding the mausoleum. Unnatural for a bell, for a normal sounding bell. And laughter is heard in the sky. The entire area of the graveyard is covered in a green mist, and shapes with claws, demonic faces with fangs, red eyes, start to float from the graves towards the mausoleum.
Why
Right.
did you ring that bell? It's too late now. You can't unring it, but what in the hell?
Covering myself with a shield, I try to open the coffin.
I help Odo, providing all the muscle I can, shoving against it as well.
I try to understand the powers of the bell now that it has rung, and to see if I can somehow control them.
And I tried to close the door of the mausoleum behind us.
Peter easily closes the door of the mausoleum, and Peter notices that the entire mausoleum is being surrounded by a wall, a circular wall of green fog. Within the fog, the demonic faces approach. The circle of fog begins closing in slowly, inch by inch. Munin cannot understand the power of the bell. His mind almost gets lost in a maze of events that never took place or perhaps took place aeons ago. The visions are maddening. He obtains images of beings that are not human, that are not even physical. And Odo and Raisha easily open the lid of the coffin, revealing a set of stone steps descending into darkness. And this concludes this part of the adventure of the campaign. This is like the perfect moment because you're getting into somewhat of a complex situation.
Yeah,
Yeah, from bed to wars.
That's a cliffhanger. Definitely.
definitely. Yeah.
So what do you think about this session?
It was awesome. I have to run, so my apologies, but I have to excuse myself. I will see you all in 2 weeks.
Ciao,
It was
See
ciao.
ya.
Later.
absolutely awesome.
Thank you
Thank
and
you.
goodbye.
Yeah, that was pretty intense. The city got, well, I mean, first we had, we fought off the two of the weird, powerful killers, and then went right from there to the city getting overwhelmed by, kind of this zombie apocalypse scenario, and then, from one thing to the next, just kept kind of escalating. So yeah, that was pretty intense session.
Very fast paced, very, very dangerous, very brutal, I would say. Yeah.
Mhm.
If
Yeah.
if we come out alive of this, I want to go back, find the gnome, and hack the hell out of him for locking himself into safety while we were facing the wall of zombies, which was fun. But I thought we were done for good.
I also thought it
It
was going
was
to be a total party kill. I was thinking, oh no, this is it.
it was tense. Yeah, it didn't seem like there were too many viable options, but to fight, run. Just kind of do whatever you can to stay alive. So
Mhm.
yeah.
I have the impression maybe the zombies could not follow us in the sea, but maybe we didn't have the time to do that. We really wanted to go to the cemetery.
I was thinking
And
the same, but at the same time, I want to go and try to end this threat and see if we can
yes,
find the
We could have
mysterious.
fallen. Yeah, I mean, we could have fallen back to the boat and just abandoned Shark to its problems, but Raisha didn't want to just abandon all the innocent people if there was any hope to save any of them, and Moonin seemed pretty sure that this was the source of the problem. Ringing the bell was kind of a risky choice because I don't think we had any evidence to suggest that would be helpful, but it just sort of happened very quickly, so wasn't a whole lot of time
Mm.
to debate it, and so now we're in this really precarious situation. So we'll see how it goes.
It
Yeah,
seems that the mausoleum and the bell are somehow connected because of this sigil that is engraved. So definitely there's something there
Sure,
yeah.
to
but not necessarily
investigate.
something good. So
Mm.
we may have made things a lot worse. So, but we'll
Yeah,
find out. Yeah.
And I
find
really
out.
like the flexibility when there is that flexibility in the session where you have various ways of handling the problem because it could have been other ways, right? You could have perhaps decided to go to the cemetery immediately, or you could perhaps decided not to pursue the killers in the well. You don't know if this new zombie apocalypse type of situation occurred because you went into the well, or if it's related to the killers, or if it's
Yeah, if
related to
it's
something
coincidental
else.
or yeah.
The building, the choice of the building, going to the library, perhaps if you went to the guardhouse or if you went to the north, to the west of Shark, maybe there could have been better fortifications, or maybe they were already taken over, like I said, and keeping all of that secret. But it could have gone many ways.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now we're kind of committed to going down into this, creepy underground. We don't really have any choices left because we've gotten ourselves surrounded by weird specters, and so
Yes.
one way forward. Yeah, yeah,
Yes, yeah, 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 yeah. We don't know very much of the bell yet. We don't know how much it's gonna help us or it's gonna put us in bigger troubles. But I
yeah.
hope we can.
Nothing about it screams helpful. So it's
No, but we keep having this impression that one way or another it can also be of some sort of use. I
I
don't
don't
Based on
know.
remember
the
that. But
communication from the message left by William, it said that the bell
Yeah,
yeah,
could be instrumental in
yeah,
in
defeating
some
the threat
ways.
or
Or
empowering it.
detrimental, yeah.
true,
We need
true.
to get more control of it. But I very liked how we were sticking together in all the different situations, and that we thought together, and I really like that.
Yeah, a lot of
Very,
cool teamwork and tactics and stuff. That was fun.
yeah. There was a big sense of companionship, even if we our characters have different characters, like Reisha and Munin are doing this for the good of people. I am pretty much doing for adventure and for protecting you. So it's nice that we have this strong companionship, even if we have different characters. So
Yeah,
I really enjoyed it. Of course,
Yeah.
I loved also the fast pace. It was very adrenaline. I mean, I couldn't even stop thinking too much. It was like rushing into action.
I noticed
Ha-
because you had those couple of moments when you were, I'll, but that's just, like I said, it's like an automatic reflex when you want to distance yourself and I am going to do, because when you go in the present, you are there. And when you're like, I am going to, I will, I'll,
I think
it just is.
it also maybe can reflect those little moments that one might have in the heat of the moment. Sometimes you just freeze for a second. Like I
The
was,
hesitation, exactly.
yeah,
That's how
I
I
was,
handle it in role play. I never say like, no, no, don't do it. No, that happened in the fiction. It
yeah,
happens.
mhm.
Yeah.
yeah,
Just
and
like overwhelmed. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
I was trying to block his axe, but anyways, I mean, I could at least share any damage with you. So
mhm.
in a way, it was the fighting unit. So
We all survived, so
yeah,
that's something.
that's good.
Except the
That's
poor
the best.
mule, the poor mule died because the was
Yeah,
overwhelmed by the zombies.
that makes sense. Yeah,
It,
just
it's a
too
sad
much going on.
situation. Yeah, I wonder who was the guy with the green and white dresses and butcher's knife who was probably trying to interact with us, but we were on our rush to the cemetery.
The
Oh, he
citizen,
was
yeah, the
just a
one that ran to
survivor.
the.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
yeah. Ray should have been trying to gather as many survivors as possible, and only one of them made it. So yeah,
I
yeah,
think that was also crucial for you to survive because part of all telling the guards come with us. Now you had all of those the mid shields. In the case of Risha, calling the townspeople to help you. Well, at least you made it. You avoided many blows because of that.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, her motive was not just to have them serve as shields for us in character. She was just being altruistic, trying to help. But it did have that effect. Yeah.
On the other end, I called for the guards to follow us to the library on with the purpose of having some canon meat. you know
Cannon fodder, yeah, yeah.
yeah, while we were doing our stuff.
And they're supposed to be guards. It's their job.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, another excellent session.
Thank you for
Thank you to
running.
everyone watching us at home, and thank you, of course, to David, to Peter, to Peter, to Sam, to Derek. I was still in character, and thank you to Giovanni as well. They did great, and thank you so much to those of you that are going the extra mile to support the channel. If anyone else wishes to further support the channel, consider joining as a member using the super thanks button. Like, subscribe, take a look at the information in the description and in the pinned comment. This has been your host, Abraham L. Jaguar, a professional game master. And remember, in tabletop role playing games, you're not telling stories about your characters, you're experiencing the game world as your characters. Once again, thank you. I'm going to stop the recording in 10 seconds.
Bye.